Hey guys, Johnny from JTK Gaming, and once again we have some PTS testing. So we mixed it up this time and we decided to run some light armor and do some testing against a light armor build. And to be honest, we got some pretty consistent number percentages anyway, should I say. And at least for myself, I got some answers and I'm pretty clear now on what's going to be best in slot for the upcoming patch. So I'm going to share that information with you and share my feelings and my thoughts about the weapon traits and finally give you guys some answers and hopefully we can clear up a lot of stuff that's going around in the game at the moment and hopefully clear up some misconceptions and some false information that may be spread around at the moment. So, just before we get into it, I just want to say, guys, this is totally different to what Gil is doing. His testing is great, and I'm not doubting his numbers at all. But ours is strictly for PvP. There's a lot of different variables that play into our testing that don't play into his testing, and I imagine vice versa. So just keep that in mind, guys. So don't go, oh, but Gil got this and Gil got that. Like that's great. He's testing something. So if you're interested in PVE information and that kind of stuff, go check out him. I'll leave a link in the description and you can suss his information out. But if you want PvP information, stick around and we are going to get into it. So the way we did the testing on this round was very, very similar to the first set of results. So it is comparable to those. The main variable being that the target that was getting hit was in light armor. I was on a light armor sorcerer wearing 5 light, 1 medium, 1 heavy, and my resistances were quite a lot lower. The exact numbers will be in the Google Doc, but they were extremely lower than what the heavy armor test was. So that being the only variable, they're kind of, you can compare the numbers between like a light armor versus a heavy armor, and also the resistance, high resistance versus low resistance between each test. So the test was carried out with a 30-second rotation. The exact rotation's linked in the Google Doc, and that rotation was repeated for 30 seconds, and any rotation that wasn't perfect was binned. We did not keep it. If there was a light attack we've missed, or if the timer went over 30 seconds or even under 30 seconds, it was thrown out. So you can imagine that there was quite a few more tests run than just the 5 that we have shown in the spreadsheet. So that's the basis of how we did the testing. There's a superstar screenshot of his build in the description, also my resistances, and if you have any other questions about that kind of stuff that's not in the Google Doc, just hit me up and I'll try and help you out as much as I can. So, okay, let's talk numbers. Now, as I said in how we tested, this is comparable to our heavy armor test we did with the same build. Basically, we ran exactly the same build. Bacon ran the same skills, the same rotation, same everything. The only variable was the target he was hitting, which was me, and I was on my Sork in light armor instead of heavy armor, and the resistance differences will be in the Google Doc. But basically, as you can see, Infused won out quite strongly. Now, the lowest scorer was sharpened on both tests. Now, the two different tests we did was one with standard, just infused Divine's gear. The other test was with 4 impen pieces on my armor, and I was keeping my shield up 75% of the time. I just wanted to see how much this affected Sharpen and how much it affected Precise. So Sharpen lost, it was the lowest scorer in both tests, followed very, very closely by Precise, and then following Precise very closely was Nern. The big standout here is Infused. On our base test, scored 14.22% higher than what Sharpen did. So that's 14% is a big difference, guys. Like, Compared to the other two, the difference isn't that much. It gets quite less interesting, really. And Precise and Nern basically around the same, within a percent or two of each other. And that's basically all the numbers, guys. It's in the Google Doc. I don't want to go number for number because I'm super tired, but you guys get the idea, and you can see there how much Infused is just really standing out at the moment. So that's numbers. Let's move on. Let's have a little chat about the individual traits and where I think they are at the moment. Talk about Precise, guys. So Precise is in a bad spot at the moment, and it's really hard to deny that with the figures that we've got. It may be performing pretty well in PvE, but it is not performing well in PvP. And I want to stress again that it is totally different for PvE versus PvE. Hitting a dummy or hitting a monster is very different to hitting a player, and there's a few big reasons for that. So, as you can see in the numbers, that Precise is just beating out Sharpened, but is still behind Nern and Infused, and is behind Infused by a lot. So the problem with this is it's worse than it looks on the face, because on the face value it looks okay. It looks like it could be a viable option for burst damage or something like that. But you got to remember, guys, this was with no impen, this was with no shields. Well, the we did do testing with shields, and that is there as well. So as I'm talking right now, I'm talking about the first set of tests with no shields. So you got to think that this is all things that can lower Precise's damage, and we tested it with shields with a 75% uptime on our shields to kind of mimic what a Sork would, or a shield stacker would kind of do. Yes, I know some will have it up for more than 75, and some others will have it down for less, but we can't test everything, guys. It took long enough to do this as it is. And with those shield tests, we also ran 4 in pen. So it wasn't full in pen. You also remember sets like impregnable. Oh god, it's like 6 in the morning. I can't speak, guys. But then again, I can't speak at the best of times, so that's no real excuse, is it? So, like, I hope that kind of, you know, gets through to a lot of people why Precise is not in such a great spot. And that's really all I can say about Precise at the moment. And it really needs some help and is behind. Nern, second to Infused in most of our testing. It seems like it's the only other viable kind of option as far as the numbers go. It has a few things going for it. One, it's not affected by shields, and it's not affected by impen. So it really doesn't have many downfalls. The numbers that you see are kind of what you get. I would like to look into how it scales with high spell damage and high weapon damage builds. That is something that we do want to look into. So there's a possibility that it could beat out Infused, maybe. I doubt it, but there's possibilities there, and we'll be looking into those. But at this point, it is still quite a bit behind Infused, and there's really not much else to say about Nern, besides the fact that it can be quite hard to get also. So, you know, that's something else to take in consideration. Even crafting it can be tricky and costly as well. So that's about all I have to say about Nern, guys. What to say about Sharpened, the king of PvP traits? Well, in short, guys, the king has died, and it's time for Infused to step up and take the crown and rule the PvP world and crush everyone. Okay. Got a bit Games of Thrones there on you, but hey, anyway, on a serious note though, Sharpened's fucked. Yeah. Shall I just leave it there? I think we should leave it there. Let's just leave it there. Look at the numbers, guys. Look at the numbers. That basically just sums everything up I need to say about Sharpen. Besides this one little thing, Sharpen is also affected by shields, with the whole penetration not affecting shields. So that gives it another really kind of kick in the ass that it really didn't need. But yeah, look at the numbers. I'm not going to go into it any more than that. Infused, the new king of PvP. Now, as I showed when we talked about the numbers, Infused is really in a good spot at the moment, and it's got some really good support from the Oblivion glyph. Now, this is just really, really strong at the moment. It's too strong. I think if it goes live like this, we're going to have an, kind of reverse. It's going to be magics that have these stupid proc um, kind of builds going around. So, hopefully something gets done with Oblivion enchant. And that aside, Infused did perform better than the rest, even with different enchants such as shock and spell damage. So all the numbers are down there from our free tests. To recap the tests we did, our first test was with a heavy armor build. Our second test was against a heavy armor build but with high crit. And our third test was against a light armor build with the same build hitting it than as our first test. So the first and third test is comparable to each other, the only variable being that one was light, one was heavy armor. So yeah, there's not much more to say about Infused, guys. That's it. Like the numbers speak for it. It's wearing that crown, and how long it will wear the crown for, and how well it will wear the crown, I don't know. But well, guys, I hope this helped in some way, and I kind of was able to give you a little bit more of a blunt answer, and I hope that helped some more people instead of just my open-ended questions and answers, should I say, like my other two videos. But I wanted to get some more numbers and more results before I kind of went off and put my backing behind Infused. But it's there. I'm backing it 100% at the moment. Things could change. We could do some more testing. Things could get nerfed. It is only the PTS, remember that, guys, so none of this is guaranteed to go live. But at this current stage on the PTS, it looks like Infused is winning, and it's got that crown. So once again, guys, it's Johnny from JTK Gaming, and just before I go, I want to say thanks again to Bacon for helping me test all this, and thanks to Blang, he made up the spreadsheet for this video and made all those numbers digestible for you guys. So I am so fucking tired. I'm going to go edit this video, and I am going to pass the fuck out. So catch you later, guys.